In this daily video series we cover news and updates regarding monetary and fiscal policies of G7 countries, as these policies have huge impact on their currency against other currencies. In today's video we shall cover all major events happening regarding central banks of G7 nations. Bank of Japan. From September 2022 Tankan Survey. The total response rate to the survey by 3,821 enterprises was 99.3% in June, increased by 0.2% in September 2022 to when 3,804 enterprises participated, and the rate was 99.5%. The table below shows the average of predicted exchange rates of all enterprises for overall businesses in June 2022 and September 2022. Overseas business activities in June. 1. Year-to-year percent change etc. in June was 242, which was reduced to 234 in September. 2. Nominal yen-denominated figures in June were 246, and this was reduced to 238. There is an up and down in different businesses. From June to September 2022 update. The Tankan summary and the comprehensive dataset surveys are published on the BOJ official website. Please visit for a complete view. Monetary base. The update has a table that shows notes and coins in circulation, current account balances, and reverse balances from 2020 to September 2022. The first bigger table shows yearly changes from 2020 to 2022. The two small tables above clearly indicate the difference from June 2022 to September 2022. Monetary base is updated quarterly on the official website of BOJ, which shows the current and previous quarter changes/differences. Board of Governors of Federal Revenue System. Federal Reserve Board finalizes updates to the board's rule concerning debit card transactions. By law, the board is required to make rules ensuring that debit card issuers give merchants the opportunity to choose between at least two unaffiliated networks when routing debit card transactions. The final rule will be effective July 1, 2023. When the board initially issued the rule in July 2011, the market had not developed solutions to broadly support multiple networks for card-not-present debit card transactions. Since that time, technology has evolved to address these barriers. The final rule does not modify requirements concerning interchange fees. So the board will continue to review interchange fee requirements in light of the most recent debit card industry cost data collected by the board and may propose to modify these requirements in the future. Reserve Bank of Australia. Statement by Philip Lowe, Governor. Monetary policy decision. The board has decided to increase the cash rate target by 25 basis points to 2.60%. It also increased the interest rate by 25 basis points to 2.50%. The board is planning to achieve back inflation to the 2 to 3% range over time. A further increase in inflation is expected over the months before it declines back to 2 to 3%. CPI inflation is to be around 7.75% over 2022, a little above 4% over 2023, and around 3% over 2024. The unemployment rate in August was 3.5%, around the lowest rate in almost 50 years. Further increase in interest rates will help achieve a more sustainable balance of demand and supply in the Australian economy. Bank of England. Gilt market operations. Market notice. The bank is creating the details of its temporary purchases of long-dated UK government bonds, which will explain the purpose of these operations and will minimize risks from contagion to credit conditions for UK households and businesses. For first 4 quarters the bank is ready to purchase up to £5 billion of long-dated conventional gilts in each auction and reserves the right to set a maximum price, minimum yield that will be applied to auctions. From Tuesday 4th of October, the bank is asking GEMs to identify offers made on behalf of themselves or clients. Details are contained in the annex. Statistical notice. Version 1.2.4 of the Bank of England Statistics Taxonomy involves adjustments to a number of validation rules. All entry points remain the same with this update. A change log has been published to outline changes between version 1.2.3 and this release. There is a change to make reporting of the basic information table, BI.01.01.01, mandatory. All published documents now consistently refer to V1.2.4, but there have only been definitional changes to the taxonomy package, validation spreadsheet and the corresponding change log. Minutes of the Standards Advisory Panel. September 2022, SAP's agenda was discussed and the chair proposed to move the SEF action to the next SAP. The pilot platform was launched on 22nd of June. Within 2 months prior to the start of formal participant acceptance testing, around 12,000 ISO 20022 messages were exchanged between CHAP's direct participants. There were no material concerns from the results seen. The bank and Pay UK have continuous engagement and mutual recognition of priorities between each other. It was agreed to build a fraud database with more use cases.
The next steps beyond POC will be brought back to the next SAP meeting. A clear scope and terms of reference to affirm the intent of each workstream would be presented at the next SAP meeting. PRA Regulatory Digest, September 2022. The PRA Regulatory Digest is for people working in the UK financial services industry and highlights key regulatory news and publications delivered for the month. DP 422, the Prudential Regulation Authority's Future Approach to Policy. The PRA's Future Approach to Policy, speech by Vicky Saporta, CP 722, Credit Unions, Changes to the Regulatory Regime, PS 822, Definition of Capital, Updates to PRA Rule. CP 922, Depositor Protection. Reserve Bank of New Zealand, Interim Solvency Standard for Insurers issued. The Reserve Bank issued its Interim Solvency Standard, which are a key piece of secondary legislation empowered by IPSA.
The solvency standards are being reviewed alongside the Insurance, Prudential Supervision, Act 2010, IPSA, the primary legislation that empowers regulation and supervision. The interim standard comes into force on January 1, 2023 and will be applied to individual non-exempt insurers at various times in 2023 by changes to their condition of license. Insurers should now begin using this standard in their projections. International Monetary Bank. Statement by IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva on her visit to Saudi Arabia. IMF's Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva had a two-day visit to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Kristalina Georgieva met with Minister of Energy Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman, Minister of Finance Mohammed Al-Jadaan, Central Bank Governor Fahad Al-Mubarak, Minister of Investment Khalid Al-Fali, Minister of Economy and Planning Faisal Al-Ibrahim, and Management of the Public Investment Fund to discuss the economic performance. Saudi Arabia is following successfully the agreed Vision 2030 reform agenda. Watch this channel for more Forex updates.